Hey guys, video 2, me creating mixed media pieces for you. So today I've done two different sets, basically two different small collections, but they're both done with pink. So you'll see how throughout I talk to you about how my process, I'm working on two different sets at a time because I can alter those colors. So I hope you enjoy this video. At the end, I'll give you all of my information where you can follow me in other places. I'll talk to you about the supplies that I'm using here too, mostly acrylic paints, some inks as well, using my little foil quill pen. So just another video so you to really see the technique and see how things are moving. But I have to talk to you a little bit about videoing this video. Okay, since my last video, I turned my camera horizontal, right? Because that makes more sense for YouTube and it's better for you guys to visualize. But when I'm videoing myself, this is hard. When you're videoing up and down, I guess you glance over at yourself. But when you're videoing this way, watch. If I glance over at myself, it looks like I'm looking off the screen. So I just want you to know I'm having a really hard time with this videoing of things because I want to be like this the whole time. Anyway, just a little something for y'all. For those of you out there trying to video YouTube videos, I see you looking at your camera and not glancing at yourself. So anyway, that's just a tidbit. I hope you like the video. Let me know in the comments, follow, and I'll see you at the end. So obviously I forgot to video the beginning, but here we are. So papers are cut. I know that I'm going to be working on two separate sets, so 3 and 3, but I thought that I would do a similar color palette. So I'm going to stick within some pinks and do like a Mother's Day vibe. So then when I do that, it's easy to work on those two sets together because you can alternate between the colors. And you guys know that I like to work in multiples. So what I'm laying down now is I've already put down my hymnal pages, but I'm also doing sewing pattern paper. That's the kind of brownish color that you see. I love the way this looks. It's sheer. It has some marks. It has texture. And then what I often do is I go in with this gold paint and I paint right over the pattern paper. And what that does is it gives more of a gold effect. And it's just wonderful. It's like a wonderful background. It gives it a little depth. So I just kind of go in and I follow the shape of the paper. I'm not real perfect about it, just putting it on there. Remember we talked about it's basically just layers. There's no mistakes. You can just keep adding. So I love putting this gold paint down. It really, if you use gold paint, sometimes it's like very see-through and it doesn't have a good weight to it and heaviness. So when you put this paper under it, it really gives a good, bold, dynamic color. So I think that's the beauty of having the paper underneath, as well as the texture and just the look of it in general is really good. So I'll let you watch me paint for a little bit. So what you just saw was me adding more whites and creams, and now I'm going in with my colors. So I told you I was going to be doing two separate collections. So this first one is going to be more of a hot pink. I'll post which paint colors these are below in the notes. But when you think about composition and how you lay down color, I really like to spread that out and like have... It's balance. It's basically elements and principles of design. When you talk about balance, it's not just one for one, a dab of color here, a dab of color here. You can look at how I'm putting like longer, big strokes on one side, maybe a tiny touch of color on the other. So really think about balance in your work. Just now what I sprayed down on the bottom was some alcohol ink, and it's this color that is, I think it's like shell color or whatever. It's almost like a non-color. It has a little pink tone to it. I just kind of like the way the alcohol also fades on the paper. So it's a good under color for me, an under base color for me. And if you saw my first video, I just want to let you know that I did prime all of these papers in clear gesso so that when you use alcohol ink, it doesn't absorb into the paper. And that's something I do because I don't always know what I'm going to use. A lot of times people ask, what's your thought process when you sit down? Do you lay everything out? And I don't. I have all of my drawers of supplies all around me, and I just start grabbing and doing what feels comfortable to me in the moment. Honestly, these videos are a little hard because I'm trying to be somewhat intentional about what I'm using, and I always make the supply picture after because I don't know what I'm going to use before. So I don't know how you work. It'd be interesting for you guys to tell me in the comments which process you do. You know, some people I think pull exactly what they're going to use ahead of time, but I feel like I get caught up in the moment and I start pulling things along the way. So it just changes for me. And it's different every time. Sometimes I like to start with an idea, and sometimes I just go with the flow and the supplies that are around me. Here I'm just moving that ink around using some white and cream acrylic paint. So I like to just blur out those edges. You see at the top how I put the acrylic color on up there, and I didn't buff it out quite as much. I don't know why, but I really like to do this with the alcohol ink, but not as much with the acrylic paint. I sometimes like to leave it more intense in color. That's just a preference of mine. And it gives me also a variety of designs in general. So guys, I am now pulling out the big guns. This is my big bucket of Liquitex white paint. I use white paint for so many things that I just found that it's much more cost effective for me to buy these in bulk. And sometimes you can get them on sale, especially at Michael's. So last time I ordered, I think they were 50% off, and I ordered a box of them. So I have like 6, but I go through them so much, and I just use my palette knife to scoop out to add to my palette on the table there. So anyway, you'll see I'm going in with my palette knife now to add some white. I like the way palette knife adds texture to your pieces, especially when you're using white. It's a cool way to just add that bold white so that it doesn't blend or mix in too much with your background. So you'll see I'm going in. I have a lot of different sizes of palette knives as well. Don't be afraid to try different sizes, because maybe you just want it to cover a small amount and you can use your little one, or the right angle. There's also a rounded edge. I'll do some videos on cold wax and I'll show you how I use those as well. So I just love the versatility of how you can lay down paint when you're using a palette knife. When I first started doing these smalls, I use my hands a lot. I didn't really ever use a paintbrush. I've started using a paintbrush more. I don't know how I got away from that. Maybe just I was tired of being so dirty all the time. I mean, not that I'm super clean now, but it did help me to just use a palette knife to get that same feel of like using my fingers and stuff. I like the way it goes. And you'll see me here using the heat gun because my patience level is low. So I like to move quick. I heat everything down with the heat gun, and you have to move it around or you can burn the paper or kind of make your paint bubble and warp. So I really do this before I start making my marks on my pieces. So I am about to start making marks with charcoal, or is it charcoal pencils? Yes, charcoal pencils. And I love the grit that they have. Also, if you add water on top of the charcoal pencils, they will kind of bleed out and give this cool watercolor effect. if you just want them to stay true as lines, you need to spray some type of fixative to keep them in place. And I told you in my last video that you can sometimes just use a spray bottle of straight alcohol, and it will help to adhere and kind of fix your pastels as well. But I do have a pastel fixative sometimes if I don't want those lines to bleed out, or just to keep everything in place. I'll spray it with a fixative as well. But we'll talk a little bit about my mark making and lines. I said in one of my other videos is that these are just unique lines to me. It's lines that I love. I hope that when you are watching other people's videos, or when you're getting inspiration from other people, that you can really take time to play with your supplies and your mediums to where you find your voice and your lines. A lot of times people try to mimic other people's marks and movements. Well, first of all, it doesn't feel genuine and unique and authentic to you. And second of all, it's not expressing your true voice. So take the time to learn what your personal marks are. Sometimes you start by mimicking. I understand that. But I would just challenge you to also take time doodling and playing in a sketchbook, or just drawing on the side of paper. Just see what marks you are naturally drawn to. I'm going to tell y'all a little secret, and is when I am in church on Sunday mornings, I bring a journal with me and I draw the entire time. It helps me feel grounded and connected. It helps me to listen more. As a teacher, as a former teacher, and as a student who functioned this way, I listen better when my hands are moving when I'm drawing. But I often think about the way I doodle in church and the way I make marks. And I like to carry that over into my art as well. So if that's the time that you take that church time, or whatever it is, just take some time to move your hand with a pencil and see where you naturally are drawn to, other than just mimicking other people's marks as well. Okay, that was just my little advice and tidbit for the day, but I'm finishing up on these pieces. I'm going to show you the final product all framed up, and show you what it looks like when it's complete. One last thing before we finalize and I cut to the pictures of the final product is I want to tell you about this foil quilling pen that everybody loves. It's a foil paper and a heat tool, and basically you mark on top of the paper and it leaves whatever marks below. I use it as my signature. I do my signature with my name at the bottom, but I also have a signature mark that I put into almost all of my pieces. And I use this foil quilling pen to do that. And it just leaves a beautiful finish. It's great to create little accents within your work. And I think a lot of people love it. So I just wanted to show you that. And I think what I didn't video, but I have time to tell you about, is the way that I put words into my work. I type up things and cut a whole bunch of little strips of paper, and I sort through my bag, and I'll add just inspirational words or words that come to me. Sometimes it's out of books, lyrics of songs, or people tell me words, and I just keep a little stash. So I'll show you the finished product. Okay guys, I hope y'all enjoyed it. All framed up pieces ready to be sold and out in the world. If you see something you love, you can always message me. You can also follow me on Instagram at kjaneart. My website is also kjaneart.com. I'm on Facebook, same handle. And if you just want to see some of my stuff, you can go. Definitely all of my work is on my Instagram and on my website. It's a great way. And if you see something you love, you can message me there. Share it with other people. And if you love this video, come back and watch more. I'll be doing, my next video will be cold wax. So I'll see you soon. Go be great.